Today we are in the beautiful vicinity of Hyde Park. I'm here with my very good friend I've known for so many years, Naj. How you doing, my brother?
Yes, I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Long time, we haven't seen each other, and we've been planning sort of meeting up, and we thought we'll make an opportunity of it just to have some fresh air, have some lunch together, and just see how each other are doing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been a while. We haven't been able to meet since the lockdown, and so yeah, it's great to see you.
But when you see friends after a long time, you got a lot to catch up on, because we do so many different things, right?
Yes.
And you know, we do so many things that we want to share with each other after a long time. Like, you know, you have for example, a passion for cooking. I didn't know that. That's a surprise to me. You like cooking? The next time I'm going to come to your house, I'm going to have one of your lovely food, you know?
Yes, bro. I would love to invite you, and I think this passion was always there, but it's always taken a back seat. But since the lockdown, I've been cooking more, and it has, I think, moved forward quicker, much quicker, because I'm cooking more now since the lockdown.
We talked very briefly about life in the lockdown. It's a big word, lockdown, because what does the word lockdown mean to you? If I was to say to you, let's say lockdown didn't happen, what would it mean to you? If I said lockdown, what does that word mean?
I mean, I probably never thought about that word before this.
Say we didn't have a lockdown right now, and I said, tell me the word lockdown. What does that mean?
I probably wouldn't know what it means. Probably wouldn't even know what it means. What would it mean? But I think if I would have to think about it, I would say that it would be probably much more strict lockdown. But I think we are lucky here to be here in London that, you know, we were allowed to go to parks, we were allowed to go and do some shopping, whatever we needed. But I've heard that other places that they had the people weren't allowed to go out like 24 hours. That was like proper lockdown. And certain places they had time restrictions, because I have family all over the world, and so I think I feel quite lucky and blessed to be here, because it wasn't that strict here.
I mean, how has life? What positives? Let's talk about positives. What positive stuff has come out for you personally in this? Have you learned something to appreciate something more, or what's changed for you in a positive way? If there is any.
I think the first thing I would say that I got closer to my family. I was speaking to my family more often on these video calls, and I think for the first time I have a couple of siblings in Middle East, Saudi Arabia, in Pakistan. I've got a brother in Brighton. For the first time we did a conference call, and we were like all at the same time together, and it was really interesting, and it felt like we would have the same inside jokes, and yeah, it was really good. So
did that feel a bit strange in the beginning, doing a conference call? It's something that you've never done before, right? How did you like convince everybody to have a conference call? My dad sometimes he's not very good in looking after himself, so we family decided that we should all speak to him at the same time, because everyone had tried to speak to him individually. Right.
So we thought if everyone get together and speak to him, then he would listen more. That was the idea, but that idea turned into a weekly thing.
It's good.
And now we catch up on things, catch up on what shows we are watching, catch up on remember our times when we were together growing up, and it's really good. I feel like I know more than because my family lives abroad, so I feel I know them more now since the lockdown.
Yeah.
So that has helped. I'm speaking to my son, who I used to speak twice a week. I'm speaking to him every day. I feel my relationship with him has gotten better.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Since the lockdown, he never said to me he loves me, and in the lockdown, he just he's just like in the middle of our conversation, he just came up, he loves me, which was a really nice feeling.
Yeah, yeah.
So other than that, I feel I live in Central, as you know, Shah, and Central has always been really busy and hectic, and it feels more quieter and calmer here now.
So you do see a big difference. I mean, when obviously you live in such a beautiful area. I mean, I wish I lived here. You know, it's amazing. You can't see behind the camera. I mean, we're sitting in the middle of Hyde Park, and you've got Marble Arch, just literally arches just over there somewhere. Down there you've got Hyde Park Corner. You've got just maybe 10-15 minutes Piccadilly down there. You're blessed to be. What it's definitely changed, right? So if you picture it a couple of months ago, before all this happened, if you came at the same time, same day, whatnot, it's different, right?
It will be just too busy, too crowded, too much traffic, too much pollution. I think this lockdown, it's just not the short-term consequences. It would have long-term consequences as well. Like now, me appreciating the green space more, the pollution, the less pollution, and the calm and the peace. I think a lot of people would acknowledge it. But once you are in your everyday lifestyle, life kind of pushes you, and you don't have time to think and reflect. And I think this is also a great time to reflect and think, because sometimes you don't have enough time to even, just relax and contemplate. So I think this is also a really good time to reflect and see what is important to you in your life, and look at your relationships and everything. So I mean, I think some of my perspectives have changed.
Sure. What about, are you worried about it going back to normal? I mean, I can't describe the word what normal means, like saying back 2 months back. Imagine coronavirus is now gone and it all gets busy again and back to normal.
I think there will be people who really question themselves during this time, reflected it, and they would have more stronger positions of, for example, they don't like the city anymore, they want to move to somewhere nice and quiet and peaceful. There will be people who would really want to get back to normal, and they will feel really happy about. This is what I feel. But I think it's down to perception, of everyone's perception, how they feel about this whole situation. My view is, as some people know, probably Shah knows, I have a passion for poker. There's a saying in poker, is life deals you cards. It's all about how you play them. Sure. So this situation is not in our control. No. So what, in a given scenario, when it comes to you, you can only make the best of what is. So I think it will be up to everyone will treat differently, but personally I think I would try to move to a more quieter place if I did not have a business interest, or if I was, I would probably try to find more green, more clean place, more fresh air, and
Sure. Can I ask you a question? Did the situation worry you? Were you worried about the situation?
I think I was worried a little bit. In the beginning, I was like, what's going to happen, if things are going to get back to normal? Or I think I still have that in the back of my, if the economy crashes, how the jobs are going to be. But I think for me personally, I think this is also an opportunity to explore my career. So I feel I take this as an opportunity, to be honest.
Sure, that's really good. And I've spoken to many people, and they've found opportunities within this situation. Because I think one of the key things you mentioned is we kind of get so busy, and we kind of forget the kind of little thing that we always wanted to do. I'll share a story with you. There's one person I've spoken to, and for many years they thought of clearing out a certain part of the house, that they've never had the time to do so. And now that they've cleared some items, they've found items that they wanted to always focus on, and it's given them opportunity to venture on that particular thing. They had a passion for music, and they put their guitars and stuff away, and now he plays a guitar in his home. and he goes, wow, what was I doing all this time? And definitely it brings an opportunity. And I'm not sure if you're somebody that watches the news on a regular basis. Do you watch the news on a daily basis, or regular basis?
To be honest, I'm not. I don't. I have friends who really follow up news, so I try. I don't really delve myself deep into the news, but I kind of keep myself informed with the the major news and the major protocols to follow. Like the UK protocol. So I keep myself within the informed about the situation affecting me.
Sure. And again, we're not going to make this video anything to do with politics, about the government's doing right or wrong. It's just a personal chat with a good friend, with certain friends, general members of the public, just to see how they're getting on. We can all have different perception about should the lockdown have been done before or not. We're not going to go into all that, right? This is just to see what we're up to, and just share some ideas and get to know what everyone's up to. I mean, if you look around here, there's not many. Well, there is a few people about, but everyone's relaxed. I think everyone's just enjoying the opportunity to be outdoors. There's a few children out about here.
I think I would like to add, like we already mentioned that I live in Central, and the vibe here was like everyone was like running around, rushing around before the lockdown. Now there is like sense of calmness, and people are more relaxed, and even when they are going for their evening stroll and walk, you see the vibe is different.
Yeah.
So I think this is like, I feel like I'm into spirituality and stuff. I feel like when you're running around and just too busy in your life, you're not actually living,
No.
When you can actually appreciate a walk down the park and just be okay with it, that is like, as a basic human necessity, I think that is really, really, important.
What about when all the shops start opening up next week? What do you think is going to happen then? Like, there's going to be more people out and about? Does that worry you, or does that think?
I don't think there's going to be a lot of people out and about. I think personally, I wouldn't, since I've started cooking more and having my food fresh and enjoying it more, I don't feel like buying food from outside anymore.
Okay.
So, but to be honest, I'm not sure if other shops will open, what effect it would have, because I guess it all would depend on how the cases would go up or down, and then that will give us a clue of which direction we will take. Hopefully, there won't be a spike of cases again.
So I did mention cooking and Naj. Naj, I can't imagine you cooking because I've never tasted your food. But what was your most favourite dish that you bake? What's your speciality?
I think I've perfected the art of making a really good burger.
Burger, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I experimented with making a pizza from the base for the first time. It turned out really good.
Wow.
And
is that from flour and everything, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think I've perfected the art of making a mean chicken karahi dish. So I'll definitely treat you one day, bro.
Well, we'll definitely do a video on that, right? That's one that's coming from Naj himself. I'm a big foodie. I love food, and what I love food is homemade food, right? And I do eat out a lot, but homemade food is, it's completely different.
I think for me also very, very important thing is like when you buy your own, it's the ingredients, isn't it? You can buy some good quality ingredients for fraction of the price you would pay for a much worse quality ingredient from, let's say, a shop or a takeaway or something. You can buy your own fresh stuff and just. And
you know exactly what's inside it, right?
Cleanliness, how clean you are in cooking, and you can really obviously you don't know, you're always you're not sure what's happening in the kitchens in a restaurant or something. So
give us some tips, like what's the most essential starting basic you have to have in a kitchen? Before you even, like, say, start cooking and stuff, what should you have? If you picture your kitchen.
I don't know. I think basic would be like cooking pans and pans and stuff, and you need a cutting board.
Yeah.
And knives and
A sharp knife.
The sharper the better.
I don't know. I've got this thing about sharp knives. Like, I used to work in a restaurant, and there's a massive difference in having a sharp knife when you cut a tomato or something, when it just slices through and the slice is right, not like
Exactly. I think it's kind of like contradictory. Like, I think the sharper knife is more safer because it cuts through easily.
Yes.
And when you are trying to cut through, like, let's say, not a sharp knife, then you might have to use force, and it could be dangerous actually, the way you use the force, or the way it doesn't cut. So it's probably better to have a sharper knife.
I bought this electric knife sharpener, and you just bit the knife inside and it goes, it's like a grinder. Sparks come out of it, but bruv, like, when the difference of the actual preparation of food, I'm talking about chopping chilies, onions, it's such a beautiful experience. It's easier, but you're absolutely right. My wife cut her hand a couple of times and it's from the knife, and I'm like, because the knife is sharp, you're putting pressure and it slips, right?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of videos on YouTube on how to hold the food when cutting an item. So if you like left finger is holding it, you always keep the knife with the finger, so it's pretty safe. I think it's important to probably look at how you cut,
right,
and look at some instructions, because if you just follow the instructions, you can never hurt yourself.
No, exactly. There's a technique, and that's why you see a lot of people say, how do they cut in restaurants when they go? It's because of the experience, but also there's a particular way they hold the knife and
Exactly. They always keep the knife, and they always hold stuff like this, and then they move the knife with this. They push it with so it's always, I think protecting yourself is the number one thing, and
And of course, I see whenever I talk to Naj, he's always health conscious. Not meaning he's a health freak, but we're always talking about eating healthy and living healthy, right? During the whole situation with lockdown, has your health impacted in terms of living healthy?
Yeah, I feel much better. I think cooking at home has made a big difference. I used to eat out a lot, so I noticed that. Secondly, I think I'm coming to Hyde Park is my local park, so I'm coming to park more often, and I'm doing like running once or twice a week, and I'm doing a bike ride once or twice a week. And I think in general I feel better. Lately I've been having a discussion with some people as well, and I think we were talking about feeling a little bit depressed in winter season, like especially in January and stuff. And I was doing some research about vitamin D, and so normally a white skin doesn't need that much vitamin D. So if you're an Asian background or a black person, you need a lot more vitamin D because your skin absorbs less vitamin D when it's exposed to. So when you're out more and about in nature, getting more sunshine, you feel much better. I think, we try to look at the holistic approach of health, way of looking at things. So that is the real way to look at it. Because I think the conventional medicine, they just try to suppress the symptoms and doesn't go to the root cause. Or I think a good lifestyle, a good sleeping habit.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking a few weeks back that what makes quality of your life better, and I came up with this conclusion that that insight I got was, if you get a good night's sleep, the next day you'll feel energized, you'll feel much better, and it just impacts like how good you feel when you had a good sleep and you feel rested.
Sure.
So you should invest in a regular sleep pattern. So look at the whole holistic approach of health. I think it's very important, rather than just looking to and long-term lifestyle changes are key.
Sure. And again, this whole situation has brought a lot of this out. People have probably become a bit more conscious about their own health, given them more time to reflect, give them more time to explore. Like I say, cooking, for example, you're absolutely right. You know, there's lots of people there who'd rather eat out because of convenience, but then what impact is it having on the health? Now they've started cooking at home, they feel better, and they might think, oh, you know what, this is a better way of living. I look better, I feel healthier, I sleep better, right? And if this is a positive that comes out of it, let's just continue doing that. Although all the McDonald's and stuff may open back up again, look at what's been put into certain foods, we don't know, yeah? But Naj, we're going to conclude this discussion. And again, this is such a blessed moment to spend with such a good friend. Please watch our other videos. We are going to be putting some other videos. My friend Naj here is going to make his own cooking videos. We look forward to that. Thank you very much.
Hopefully one day soon. Yeah,
inshallah, one day very soon. You know, he's got my taste buds going. all the karahi and pizzas, like say. He's mentioned all the favourite foods I have, so I'm definitely coming over to your house.
Yeah, you're most welcome all the time, brother. And I mean, we know each other for 17 years, and it's such a.
Has it been 17 years? Wow,
yeah, and
that's a long time.
It's you know, I feel blessed to have him as my friend. And,
likewise.
You know, like there are a few people you just stay in touch with, and a lot of people they come in your life and they go away. But you know, there are a few people who stick, and I think Shah is one of my those friends who, and hopefully will stick for much longer and help and support each other.
That's it.
As much as we can.
That's it. Definitely. Always and forever. Thank you very much. See you guys soon.